Well, do you have a cafe? Are you going to Shane?
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Can I speak?
Hi, Sally. How are you?
Good. Who was that?
Daryl.
Oh, hi, Daryl. I don't see you.
Well, when I click, it says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Well,
So
she's going to work on that right now because we need to see your face. And I see Kayala. Hi.
And I had created a virtual background and I can't even see it. So I don't know if it worked or not.
So everyone else is asked to unmute, right? Should I ask everyone to unmute?
Oh, wow. You guys haven't been to that.
Okay, we have 9 participants. Can anyone else? Oh, Linda's on.
Hello.
Hi, Linda. Hi, everyone. Is everyone able to talk? I know Daryl and Linda are. Kayala, Adriana.
Hi. Hope you're having a good day.
Oh, hi. And I don't.
Hi, just wanting to say I'm here.
Hi, Paige. Oh, great. You said you may not be. So great to have you. Thank you for filling out your application. Okay,
Yes, and I'm sorry it took so long.
No, that's, I know how that is. So let's see, Lonnie's gonna join and then I think that'll be everybody. And Nikki's working on getting your faces up and so we can see each other. Okay, so can you see people? Or are you looking on that? Oh, there's Angel.
Hi, this is Phil.
Angel. Oh, Phil? My goodness, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome back from wherever you have been traveling.
Yeah, the Glacier National Park. It's beautiful, but it's good to be home too.
Oh my gosh, it was great to have you at the meeting. And was that our youth council members? And that's Patty calling in probably, because she's commuting. And then just Linda, we can't see Linda's face at all.
You know, I'm logging into my computer instead of having it on the phone, so it'll be just a moment, okay?
Oh, okay. Angel, how's school going? Can you hear me okay?
Martina, it's going good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
See you. Hi, Kayala.
Hi.
I like your light.
Thank you.
Is that your room?
Yeah, I'm like laying in my bed right now.
And Esteban, I have never met you. I don't think. and we can't see your face yet. Oh, there you are. Hi. Thank you all for choosing the Arts Commission. There's Linda. Hi, Linda. Oh, this
Hello.
is great. This is great.
Hey, Daryl.
Hi, Linda. Excuse me. Hi, Linda.
So great. I think, we're just waiting for Lonnie, but we can probably start, or at least be social.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah, you too, Bill.
Yes.
You want to call the meeting to order, Linda?
Yes, absolutely. Let's call the October meeting of the Arts Commission to order. Having reviewed the minutes, yeah. Does anyone have any corrections, any additions? Are there any exceptions?
If there are, I'm sure Daryl will let us know. Daryl,
I wouldn't count on that.
please.
Not hearing any, could I get a motion to approve the minutes, please?
I move that we approve the minutes as is.
Great.
Sorry.
Okay.
Go
All
ahead.
in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. Doesn't appear that
Aye.
there's any nays, so that's great. So we'll move forward then with our agenda. So let's see
Linda,
here.
at that time, the terms were not on there, so you might want to just speak to the terms that were up and who renewed and who did not, which I can help you with.
Which I would appreciate because I'm trying to do a dual screen here. It's not working, so.
So, yeah,
Todd Wolf did not renew. And we'll be sorry to lose him. He
Oh.
certainly was a very active member of the commission and was very supportive and helpful, especially as regards our Christmas event. And we'll miss him and wish him well.
he did say that, it doesn't preclude him from participating at some point in the future. And of course, he'll be helping with the parade, probably with, the ornaments, but that just a lot is going on with his family and he's having to back out of some of his obligations right now, for which I know a lot of us are feeling overwhelmed. But Linda renewed. Yay. Paige renewed. Yay.
Yay!
Lonnie.
Yay.
No, we're so lucky. Lonnie's renewing and Patty Bell renewed.
That's great.
So we've
That's
got our core group, and I'm so thankful for that.
And beyond that, Sally, I'm having difficulty. My computer is locking up with regard to the agenda. It's not
Oh,
wanting to bring it up again.
no problem. We were going to welcome the new youth council members. So thank you. Why don't you just introduce yourself and say why you chose the Arts Commission? Why don't you start with Angel?
Hi there, my name is Angel. This is my third year in the Arts Commission, and I originally joined because I do have a personal connection to art in my family, as my mom used to be an artist, and I do find an interest in city art as well, and I love learning about the new, projects that go around in Lakewood. So, thank you.
It's been invaluable to have you consecutively each year, so thanks for coming back.
Of course, thank you. My pleasure.
And Kayala?
Hi, my name's Kayala. I go to Clover Park High School and I like the Art Commission because I like being involved in the community and you guys do so many cool events and I like just being a part of that.
Okay, thank you. And Esteban. Esteban, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Esteban, and I chose the Arts Commission because I feel like it stood out the most to me because I'm just, I feel like I'm more interested in doing like art related stuff for the community. And yeah, I like it the most. Thank you.
Are you artistic yourself?
Am I what? I'm sorry.
Artistic?
Oh, yeah, I'd say I'm pretty artistic. I mean, I like to draw and make stuff, so.
Okay.
How do
We
you
really value the voice of youth on
how do you
this.
pronounce your last name, Esteban?
Oh, Pangolinin, Esteban Pangolinin.
Okay. And so Linda, I don't know if you can see your agenda, but the next.
I can, I've got it. Yeah, it has, yes,
It's a
resurfaced. So I apologize for the delay there. In any case, so did you want to move forward then with a discussion about the Joint Commission meeting, Sally?
Yeah. And I can
Okay.
make it really brief because we covered this at the last meeting and we went over all the talking that we'll be presenting to City Council this coming Monday at 7 p.m. And I encourage everyone to join that Zoom call, though only myself and Patty Bell will speak. And Patty agreed to be the second person to speak. Typically, we would all come and we'd all have a part, but because it's on Zoom, it's just difficult. But we would like you there listening, and Patty graciously agreed to read the talking points with me. And I emailed everyone today, so you can read them yourselves. And it is a good review because it goes over our work plan and what we're essentially saying to the council what we've accomplished to date and what we'll accomplish through December.
Okay. So many thanks to Patty for doing that. I will be out of town on the 12th, so I'm grateful to her.
But Linda, the thing we didn't do is we didn't come up with questions. Remember last year we came
up with and that was going to be the thing I was going to mention next. With COVID, certainly as a commission, we are being, how shall I say, forced to do things in such a way that is maybe not, how shall I say, as community centric as has been in the past. So there is a concern as to how we can be relevant and how we can maybe enlist the council's support as to how we might do that. And so preparing some questions for the council and funneling them to Sally so that she and Patty can maybe frame some questions to the council as to what they perhaps would like to see and how we can carry out our own mission in these changing times. Any thoughts on that?
I'd love to actually walk away with from this meeting with questions, and especially from the youth council. If you have, this is our one time a year that we have an audience with city council members, just the Arts Commission. So it's our time to really ask them important questions. So if you can come up, that will help direct us in our mission. So anyone, of course, but can come up with a question, but at this point we don't have any. And I'd like to get at least 3 good questions.
So Phil, do you have anything that comes to mind immediately? Phil, you're on mute. You can hear me. What about you, Daryl?
Thank you, Linda.
Oh, I'm unmuted now.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Paul.
go.
No, let Daryl go first. Go
You
ahead.
sure?
Okay.
You don't mind?
No, go right ahead.
And I want to make sure I frame this correctly. It's been a tumultuous year in a lot of ways, and uh, from my lens and perspective, I'm just kind of interested in what council has in mind in terms of healing the community, because there could be factions of the community that feel even more disenfranchised now than ever before. Um, Personally, I spent the last year in reflection, and there were really, really positive things that happened in the community. Um, and I think there was momentum going in the right direction. And my question then to council is, uh, what do we plan on doing to encourage youth that even though recent events have been, very unsettling and have had maybe long-term impacts on people in the community, not just people of color, but for everyone. And what the council sees moving forward that's going to help us heal.
And on that note, do you mean heal in terms of the art world?
Yes.
Our focus.
Yes. How, as somebody who's been involved with the arts my whole life, whether it's been performing arts or music or drawing and whatever, how does council see that the arts can be a conduit for that healing? And these are the things that I've been kind of discussing with my students in class.
Yeah.
So I'll repeat that. How does the city council see art as a conduit for healing during these times with COVID? Is that correct?
Yeah, well, with all the events that have happened, yeah, we could frame COVID as part of it, but with all the movements that have been going on,
Okay.
yeah, like I said, it's been a tumultuous year, and I don't think you really have to go any further than that. I think everyone understands what tumultuous means. In this era of being very isolated, how do we see the arts being that bridge to make us feel more connected?
That's a good, I like that, Daryl. That's really good.
Thank you.
Phil?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Daryl said. It's been a very unsettling year. And my would be more a sharper focus. If everybody is kind of independently trying to figure this out, we may lose some objectives. Is the council considering having some kind of sounding platform or a drawing together of different groups that represent the community, where there would be not only the arts, there might be other issues that need to be addressed that could be consolidated within a kind of a central program?
I like that as well.
That's good. I'm going to need you to, so is the council considering having a sounding platform that represents the entire community? Could you finish that for me?
Right, a community sounding platform where everybody would have an opportunity to come and present whatever issues they may have, and then that they could all be worked through to some kind of unified program that may not satisfy everybody, but we could get the majority of the population in support.
Well, okay, my first thought is everyone can't come together right now.
Yeah, well, but it's a worthy objective. But usually when people get to these positions, they tend to want to cooperate and see something positive come out of it. So I think a lot of good could occur.
Okay, so I'm going to repeat it. It's been an unsettling year. Is the city council considering having a community sounding platform that's representative of the entire community, where everyone would have an opportunity to come and present the issues they're having and have it result in some kind of unified program.
Right, how they think present their issues and how they would like to see them resolved, and everybody partake in this. You got it.
I just ask how you see that relating to the Arts Commission.
Well, we would be a part of it. I mean, there's a number of arts might be a part of it. Law enforcement might be a part of it. Real estate or businesses would be a part of it because they have a stake in the outcomes from an operational point of view.
So essentially working as like a guiding coalition, all of the different stakeholders in the community coming together to work as that guiding coalition.
By God, I like those words, guiding coalition. That's it.
Okay.
If I can speak up too, Paige Hansen here. This has been a moving target for everyone. We're in the middle of the pandemic, and I've heard doctors say that it could be endemic in that our lives are going to be different. So what can we do to provide art experiences for our community in the midst of a pandemic? I mean, it's that basic, right? So outdoors, I'm sure people will say scavenger hunts or, rock finding weekends, I mean, I think in a way we're going to be blending Parks and Rec maybe a little bit with the arts. I'm just, we have to think very differently now, and we're getting there. It's been 6 months, but I got lots of ideas, but they mostly involve outdoors. Getting people outside. It's about the air we breathe right now.
Thanks, Paige. So what I hear you saying is, to the council, the question is, what can we do to provide arts experiences in the midst of a pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, let's just be really. I mean, we need to use fancy words.
And I feel like that's really our job in a way. So should we maybe say, what are some ways you feel we can provide art experiences, or what are ideas you have seen work in other areas, or something like that?
Maybe to piggyback on what Paige is saying, what would they like to see in terms of art experiences in the midst of a pandemic? What might resonate with them? I mean, we've talked about public art and murals and covered utility boxes and things like that. Ultimately, all of those things, add color and interest. They don't necessarily bring people together, but that's not what we're attempting to do at this point. But I think that we're trying perhaps maybe to, well, I don't know. I think we need to celebrate cultural diversity, and we need to be able to showcase that in a variety of ways that perhaps doesn't depend on people, how shall I say, coming together in groups.
Well, this is true, and people can say what they want about it, but I did notice and was so pleased to see Lakewold Gardens had a little live music for a very few folks. They're trying to, get their campaign met, and I was so happy because it was outside and they were safe, and it was a small musical group, and I thought, what if we did more of this and had limited audiences, and we can do this. It just takes some forethought and then a lot of explanation, and you maybe have a raffle. You can come see the music, but only 50 people can come, so you have to. We're going to do a drawing, or there's creative ways around it, because I don't think we need to do stuff that doesn't involve people doing stuff or being together. We can do it safely. There's prescribed ways of doing that, is what I would say.
Okay. Anybody else? I had one. Mine was, what are arts events, sculptures, art projects, etc. you've seen or read about here or around the world that are inspiring you, And do you feel like that's something that we could implement in Lakewood? Does that resonate with anyone?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Adriana, what do you think? I mean, the guiding coalition was really good.
Well, I mean, I feel like that's kind of was just summarizing what Phil had said. And I understand that it takes me a second to process. I'm just listening, taking in what everyone's saying. And I'm seeing like both sides of the spectrum of, okay, what can we do to kind of bandage what's going on right now? But then I'm also hearing, okay, looking long-term, what does this look like for us as a community as a whole? Because I know we want to look at, okay, this is the Arts Commission. This is what we do as the Arts Commission. But I feel like the theme of what we're hearing is bringing everyone together. So how do we fit in the midst of everything that's going on in the community? I know that's kind of broad of what I'm saying right now.
It's true.
And rather than just going to the council and saying, well, what do you guys think? What do you want to see? Less of what do you want and more of what do we all want, if that makes sense. I mean, so again, it's bringing people together to where are we, how does the community come into play into all this and not just focusing on a couple people and what they like. I don't know, just throwing that out there.
And also, I just want to, as we do these questions, remind everyone of the public art program that we presented, because we're kind of saying this fits the bill of what we want to do, regardless if there's COVID or not. It really doesn't affect murals, wraps, rotating art, iconic art, or interactive art. It does affect events like what the University of Puget Sound's Puget consultant might bring forward. And the only other event that we do that it affects, well, the summer concerts, which I think we can work around for next year, and the tree lighting, and I think the reverse parade is really addressing that. So just keeping in mind what we have done and do, and then the film. And Linda and I talked about some work around with the film experience, the film festival.
I think, I still think, I mean, your point's well taken, Adriana, as far as like telling them, what we would like to be able to do, what resonates with us, and maybe getting their feedback with regard to that. As opposed to saying, what would you like to see? I think one of the concerns for me, though, always is, is funding. We have very little in the way of, dollars that come our way for our events or our projects. And so having some support from them going forward, that, oh, that's like a really good idea, or yeah, I'd like to see more of that. I think it might loosen the purse strings, so it makes it a little easier for us to do what it is we want to do. But Adriana's point is well taken. It's like, I think that, we need to perhaps have maybe a couple of things that we're really clear about that we would like to garner their support over. And it's hard because this is all kind of new for us too,
Well, and also when I use the word we, I'm not talking about we as just the Arts Commission. I'm talking about the community, we, like all of us, so.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Hi, Susan.
Yeah, rather than us decide. Am I unmuted or?
Yes, I fell. We hear you.
Oh, okay. I was saying rather than us decide, which we could have some conceptual ideas of what we would like to see, but I still go back to this coalition where everybody kind of, and I've seen Parks and Recs actually do a facilitation where they bring everybody in and issues are captured from the different groups. And then they're eventually honed down maybe to a list of the 25 issues that everybody jointly maybe agrees to. And then they hone that down to the top 10 issues. And then those 10 issues would be how does the Arts Commission or art be able to assist or to marry with these 10 issues, and then move forward from there, where we're a part of a broader coalition supporting objectives that have already been reviewed by everybody and concurred with.
If I can speak up again, Paige Hansen here. I am really excited that we're talking about this, because we have to. It's a new world, socially distanced events, scavenger hunts, all the things that you see other cities doing. We need to hop in there and do it too, and support them and continue to support the public art that's going up, right? Because that's what people will see when they're on the scavenger hunt, that's sponsored, by the city. And because really those are all socially distanced, ghost trails, scavenger hunts, rock, all the beautiful Lakewood rock, things that parents can do with their kids on the weekend at their own time and check in with the city and win prizes or whatever.
We could do some kind of a program, Art in the Park. I like your idea, Paige, about outdoor stuff, but art in the park, it could be maybe some kind of artistic competition, varying categories of art where people make submissions, and there's People's Choice Awards and perhaps some kind of, I don't know, prize or some kind of consideration.
Yeah, I love that. And we could judge it, and then also, just because I'm the performing artist here in the group, musicians are desperate to perform. Could we do like a busking competition? Busking in the park, maybe at Fort Silicon Park. You've got 5 bands at because it's a huge park, and you get like a little card, and if you go see all 5 bands and can name one song they play, just God, it would be so great to. Musicians are dying right now. Literally, they're dying. We're all so sad we can't perform for people right now.
I really like that idea. I love buskers.
I know, right?
But you probably all saw the poetry in the park around Lake Waha.
Yes, yes, I did. Yeah.
Well received, and it's so simple,
I was there today, and people were stopping and reading the signs.
So, Susan, we were just coming up with questions for City Council for a joint meeting on Monday.
Yes.
I think I've captured most of them. I'm still a little unsure how to phrase the one with the guiding coalition, but I can hone that out later with you individually. I can email it out. I'll email out the questions, and you guys can kind of edit them for me. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
But do you have any questions for City Council? It is our one time when we have their full attention. Do any questions come to mind, Susan, for you?
Oh, you're asking me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're very, very much in the art world.
Yes.
Lakewald, so.
Yes, yes. Well, off the top of my head, Sally, I mean, I've been thinking about it. And I guess, from the one question that, obviously comes to mind is, long-term commitment, because this kind of a program builds over a long time. And we launch into this, then, it's
going to be
we do it with commitment. Sorry, did I?
Healthy for the next 7 days. I think we'll be okay.
Somebody's talking. Did you hear me, Sally?
Yeah, I can hear you. Remember to mute if you're not talking.
Yeah, I was just saying the long-term commitment to this initiative, I think, is something that it seems that the city has, and it would be just great to just have them confirm that, we're in this for the long haul, because it takes time to develop and also to get the cross-representation from the community that we obviously are searching for. So I think that would be my question. And I know in our strategy generally, we've talked about inclusivity of artists and communities. So that's a very strong point too. And how we put our requests for proposals out, etc. Is important.
So I like that. So you're questioning, let's see, the long-term commitment. Can you confirm your long-term commitment to the public art program?
Yes.
And the funding it takes to.
Yes. Yes, because it's yeah, and yeah, the commitment to funding and growing that pool of money. I think back of the vision many years ago in Tacoma to make it a place for museums, and Lakewood being a place where people come to see high quality, amazing, innovative, fabulous public art. Would be great.
I was just thinking what a difference a year makes, because at our last meeting with the council, the word from them was keep doing what you're doing.
Mhm.
And if you're submitting a proposal or the like, do put pricing information together.
Yes.
With regard to what this initiative might represent. But
Yes.
the overriding statement was keep doing what you're doing because we
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now it's like, we just really can't keep doing what we're doing, certainly in the way that we've always done it. And so I think it's really, to your point, Sally, a great opportunity to ask maybe some questions, is that in the absence of business as usual, what is it that they see from their perspective going forward? How the Arts Commission is going to support the broader community? Because we are in a different place. I don't need to tell anyone else that. But, yeah.
Sally, Linda, this is Daryl. I just had an epiphany and a thought based on everything everyone said, and it got me thinking about a certain definition of this word, and I'm going to throw it at you guys and see how you feel about it. Okay, so there are three ways you can look at the word triage. By definition, the sorting of an allocation of treatment to patients, especially battle and disaster victims, according to a system of priorities. Well, that's not what we're talking about here. Or the sorting of patients, as in an emergency room, according to the urgency of their need for care. But the third one kind of struck me as maybe appropriate to what we're asking for, an arts triage, in that the assigning a priority order to projects on the basis of where funds and other resources can be best used, are most needed, or are most likely to achieve success. Do you guys think that that kind of describes what we're asking for here? I'll mute.
Well, I mean, I think Daryl, that a commitment to sustaining the arts at this time is immensely important. And to what everybody's being said, talking about the delivery methodology, especially for the performing arts, has been basically reinvented with the live stream concerts and social distancing bans. I like the idea of the busking in the park. And I think it's the resources to be able to deliver those alternative ways of enjoying the performing arts is vital. And it's expensive. It's quite expensive to keep that virtual programming up and running. It's about triple the cost of a regular event that we used to enjoy. So I would add that in. And I think there are bands and musicians, Korean Candy Band comes to mind, who've been very innovative.
Exactly. That's exactly who I was thinking of.
Yeah, Daryl, because we had them play at Lakewold virtually. I mean, it was live stream. And we had, I mean, because of their audience, we had a huge audience for them in the garden. And you know, I think somebody mentioned the scavenger hunts that the arts programs are doing up in Seattle. That sounds very interesting as well. And they're doing it together, like several organizations have banded together with their arts commission to deliver that. So yeah, we want a commitment to the arts because we need them more than ever in this time. I mean, that sustain our souls and, you know, access to them, whatever methodology is needed. Live stream, visual arts is still available for people to see in our public art program, etc. Yeah, Daryl. Interesting.
Thank you. It's a great dialogue. That's an important.
Does anyone have anything else that they'd like to offer? So Sally, do you think you have enough to work with there?
I do. It's wonderful.
Well, good.
And if I can just speak up again, this page, Susan, I was very impressed that you guys are having musicians out. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
No, I seriously, I'm donating because I saw that. I was like, thank you for hiring musicians. You know, we don't have a lot right now, and a lot of people feel like really sad about the change, but we don't have to be sad if we can adapt. So I love that word adapt, and if that's helpful at all, if we can use that word, like how do we adapt?
Yeah.
To the pandemic, and to, you know, and let's make sure we're not just making it for the elite or people with money. Let's make sure that there's like raffles for live music where there's social distancing and limited availability, so that people who like me are missing live music have a chance to see some.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, that's how we can use our money. And I know our money's limited, but, and you know, my thing is performing arts, but I agree that visual arts are amazing too, and it all can be fed, I think. So let's adapt. Let's do this. We can do it.
You know, on that note, I'd like to say that, you know, it's time for us to have a retreat, and we can't have it here at City Hall because it's technically closed. And, but we can have it at the pavilion, but not until January. But I'd like to put that on our work program if everyone agrees to have a retreat in January and discuss these new ideas and our work program.
Okay.
Or I had a lovely retreat for my station back in the day when I was in the news team at KNKX. You know where we had it? Lakewold Gardens. It was gorgeous.
You know, I was thinking about that, and I was like, how many people can we get in the house social distancing?
Or sitting outside.
It's ideal to do it before January, because we have to present our work program in January.
Right. So, well, Lakewold Gardens is also, we have the veranda with the heat lamps. So we could be outside on the veranda as well, depending exactly when we wanted to do something like that, if there's an interest. But yes, Lakewold.
Susan, just the way you say with your accent, the veranda with the heat lamp sounds lovely, and I'm coming, and I will bring any food you all want.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we've got a retreat to plan. That's great. In a perfect world, it would probably be in early November.
Heat lamps on the veranda. We could watch the rain falling.
Sounds lovely. Let's do it. I am open.
Okay, to be discussed. I'll get a small group together to plan that. Does that sound good, Linda?
Sounds good. So do we want to
Good with me.
Do we want to move forward now with a discussion of the public art? Earl's not online, but Sally, can you take that?
Yeah, so this is Carrie's artwork at the Colonial Plaza. I emailed out the latest pictures. It's still kind of, it hasn't been put in yet. We're really hoping that it'll be done in February. The city's having its 21st anniversary in February, and that would be a perfect time to unveil it and do a dedication. And she's just working with the general contractor to bring the cost down to $100,000, which is our limit. She really can't move forward unless she knows that her project falls within that. And we're hoping that she can make that decision very soon. But that's where we are with it.
Okay. And then the holiday event and the static parade. There's been a lot of enthusiasm for that. I have to thank you, Sally, for coming up with that. That was awesome. Talk about
an idea.
Think about coming up with something out of the box. That was amazing. So
the big thing on that is to spread the word. I emailed out the application.
Yep.
And we are getting, we've had one submitted. The Clover Park School District is very excited. But what we need to talk about is we have 3 categories of judging and what the prize is going to be. So what would you like the prizes to be? I can't even remember what they were last year. Did we give ornaments? And I can look that up.
well, I think that we gave trophies, didn't we? Yeah, they were nice trophies. I think Todd coordinated the trophies.
Okay.
And then they were awarded like Judge's Choice Award, Most Holiday Spirit Award. But there was a variety of different categories.
So the categories this year are most original, most spirited, and best theme. Now you have to remember, we don't have any groups, so we couldn't do the cultural group, we couldn't do the kids group. I didn't know if there'd be many classic cars just because, again, it's a static parade. So I honed it down to those 3. So most original, most spirited, and best theme.
Mm-hmm.
And so should we do a trophies for those again? And should I enlist Todd's help for that?
Well, the trophies seem to be easiest because you never really know how many people are going to be part of each submission.
Right.
And, you know, if you just give a trophy according to the category, it tends to simplify things.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. And I need a Santa as well. If anyone knows a good Santa, I think it's time to update our Santas. And we'll just have one Santa handing out goodie bags. And I'll order all the contents, and then I'm probably going to need students or some volunteers to stuff those. Usually we do 300 goodie bags that Santa can hand out, and you can have little elves and helpers and handing those out as people drive by. And I have a meeting next week with police and public works for a traffic plan and an exact mapping of what the parade will look like, where it will set up, and how people will drive through. And once I have a draft, I'll share that with you all.
Does anyone know of any Santas?
No.
I know a man that has grown his white beard so long, and he has glasses, and he has a portly belly. And I said, Denny, you're going to be a Santa this year. So I could talk to him.
That's good, Paige. It's more than the rest of us have got.
It's like the COVID thing, right? I'm like, well, you ever thought about being Santa Claus?
That'll be a first, Santa in a face mask.
Oh, I know. But let's not be too sad because they don't know any different and they just want their toys. So
Right, and it can be a jolly face mask.
exactly.
And I guess I should tell everyone the date again, which is December 12th. So please mark your calendars for that. Please spread the word. And we'll decide who will be judging that night. But usually it takes all hands on deck. It should be a lot easier this year with all the floats stationary.
Are we going to hand out the trophies the night of and then have like a little plate to go on them, print it out later and just mail it to them so they can put the sticky plate on their trophy?
Let's see, we did that last year. We handed them out that night. So
yeah, I think actually, I don't know if they might have been handed out that night. I wasn't part of that because they came a little later than as a result.
I
But
remember we couldn't find them. So we just must have had you know, most spirited, winner of most spirited, you know, it must have said that on the trophy. Winner, most spirited, you know, and you know, 2020 Grade of Light. And then,
I guess it all depends on, you know, how important do you all think it would be that they get some kind of, I don't know, little plate on their trophy later that actually specifies their name or their group?
you know, we didn't have any complaints last year that we didn't do that. I mean, people were so thrilled. It would simplify things not to, but I'm happy to do whatever you all want.
Well, I think the names would be nice if it's something easy to do. I mean, it's always, they can look at it 5 years from now and know, you know, when and where.
Yeah.
Is it up for a vote?
I like the names on it. I think that's a nice touch.
Okay.
I'd vote for it if it's easy.
Yeah.
I mean, they can get their trophy the night of, and then we can send them the little engraved brass plate to stick, you know, with the stick 'em on the back to put on it later. I mean, it personalizes it. My vote would be for it. Again, to Phil's point, if it's easy.
Okay.
Does anyone else want to weigh in on that? Okay. So do we want to move on to the MLK event, Sally?
Sure.
Okay. Adriana, you're up.
Well, Adriana and I have not, well, sorry, Adriana, were you at the meeting? I can't remember.
I wasn't. We had just had this meeting and then that meeting had just happened, so.
Well, where we are with the MLK event is it's going to be virtual, and the filming is starting the second week in October. And what we want and what this group can help with is, well, one thing we talked about was a mural project. And I presented that idea of having a mural be part of the event, and that we're looking for a group to take that on that could fund that. And LMCC is discussing it at their meeting, and will report back if that is something that they want to do and make this kind of the inaugural mural, and then do subsequent murals each year, which would be amazing. And it would be contracting out with Urban Artworks out of Seattle that works with youth who are paired with a professional artist and to come up with a theme. The theme would be around unity, diversity, bringing cultures together, and then they create the mural, and then the students and hopefully parts of the community could actually make appointments to help paint this mural, and then put it up somewhere prominent in the community. So right now we're waiting to hear on LMCC if that is a project they want to take on. I think it would be a perfect project for them, and it would give them a lot of visibility, and it'd be a good kind of coming out project for that organization. But it remains to be seen if they're going to do that. And then another thing that our committee can help with, our commission can help with, is we want to interview people, leaders of each different culture, and have them say a short message on unity. So if you have a name, email, and contact information for someone you feel is the leader of that particular group, whether it's Korean, Hispanic, especially because Asia Pacific Cultural Center is helping us with some other names, but they didn't have one for Hispanic Latino. So that is something that this group could help with if you know of any leaders. And of course, it doesn't have to be in their native language, but we thought that would be nice. And that is where we are with that program. It'll be a 30-minute virtual program, probably coming out, that Friday or Saturday of MLK weekend. So you can email me any contacts you have, and we really need to schedule those right away. So, and any contacts you have would be super helpful. And of course, we're not doing the essay, and this mural project would kind of be taking that place in terms of being an artistic community project. And since it is virtual, it's just everything's different.
So can anyone think of any community leaders right now that they could put forward?
Do you work with anyone, Susan, in your world?
I'm sorry, I was distracted there for a moment. What was the question?
Do you work with any community leaders of certain cultural groups that could possibly say a word in the virtual ceremony about unification?
Possibly I could ask some people.
We're doing the filming the second week in October, and it would just be, a quick blurb. We want to, put them all together and have representation from all the different cultures.
Okay.
So, it could be someone from your church, a leader in your church group, of performing arts, anyone you see as a leader in the community that could say a nice message on unity.
Sally, I might circle back offline and have a chat with you if that's okay.
That'd be great.
Sally,
I would just say.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, I was just going to say maybe Joe Ethel Smith.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Sally, Bob Estrada, do you know him?
That name sounds really familiar.
In the past, he's been on some of the advisory boards for the council, but Bob Estrada, he might be somebody that we could tap. I serve on the board with him over at Lakeview, so I'll reach out to him and give him your contact information.
Okay. And what cultural group is he with?
Hispanic.
Hispanic. Okay. Thank you. And Adriana, did you have someone?
I probably have quite a few, but I'll need to do some brainstorming and write some names down.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be really nice. Okay, and that's a wrap on that, Linda.
Okay.
And then,
Uh,
go ahead.
would Pastor, he comes to the MLK event every year. Would Pastor Kim be appropriate? I mean, he does a lot in the community. I'm just throwing it out there. What does everybody think?
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so does anyone have anything else for the good of?
I do.
Sally?
Okay, so I just wanted to mention as we move forward with our work program, between now and the end of December, we'll want to have our work program in place for January. And obviously a lot of that will be based on our public art program that we presented to City Council. We asked for $60,000, $1 per capita. And because of the financial situation the city's in with COVID, that will most likely not be granted, but we are going to recommend that they fund at least the document that is kind of like the business plan that is the first step, which is about $3,500 that we contract with an artist for. But we have $4,000 from carryover money that we could begin to do wraps, which was one of the first things in the public art program, the utility box wrap. So I would really like to propose getting a group together that will develop the protocol for the wraps, how we would do the call for artists, what we would pay them. We have a lot of this research done that we did for our PowerPoint, but how are we going to tap emerging artists? Are we going to, you know, have it be a contest with students? And in a perfect world, we tie this also into our 25th anniversary, which is February 25th, and we anticipate getting about $25,000 for that. Much of which could be used for an art project. So I just really wanted to get this on your radar. And then also we'll be doing a much bigger celebration, just like we did for our 20th in the summer, for our 25th anniversary. And again, art will be part of it. So I was thinking, you know, if we were doing something around wraps and utility box wraps, and we've got, you know, let's say $6,000 that we're playing with or more, you know, what could we do with that? What would it look like? And how could it be part of this event that's our anniversary? And I think it could all really tie together nicely. So that is really coming down the pike and something that's very tangible and that we can get the funding for. And that and the retreat were the things that I wanted to talk about, in addition to what we talked about tonight.
So Sally, the talking about the how the money might be utilized for the wraps as part of the public art. Is that going to be an agenda item for our next meeting on November 2nd?
It certainly can. I think we should have a small a committee that's on that, that works on that.
Okay.
To develop the process for which we would do the call for artists. And we anticipated in our budget for the public art program that it would cost $2,500 per wrap, all inclusive, paying the artist, having a contest if we have a contest, doing the call for art, having the designs made, having the laminate, having it actually produced, put on. You're looking at about $2,500 per wrap from what our research says. So, you know, whether we start with one or two to get things rolling. If we're going to do that in February as a contest, we'd certainly want to have our protocol in place. So that would keep some of us very busy developing that, and it'd be kind of fun. Y'all just did a call for artists, so we have a lot of other cities who can ask for assistance and how they do it. And some, like I said, exists in our research that we've done already.
Now,
we drilled down quite a bit on that.
Now, Earl has put together a lot of information on that already, has he not?
Yes, yes.
So we can certainly tap into that as a subcommittee and run with that so we could have that in place for February.
Yeah,
I would think.
yeah, for sure.
We've got a lot of groundwork already done.
I think by December, we could have all the protocols in place, and then if we wanted to advertise a contest or something, we could do that. I mean, the great thing about RAPS, everything I read about in the research was it really excites the local community because you are using artists from your community, and these emerging artists have an opportunity to showcase their work, which is really exciting no matter what their age is. And, you know, we could talk about a theme, and maybe that theme's around the 25th anniversary or whatever we decide. Maybe it's around unity.
So Sally, do we need to identify a utility box, you know, at this point, which one we're going to be?
We can drill down on that. I do have a map of where they all are and how many we have. So that would be part, yes, we'll ultimately need to decide which one.
Because is it realistic to think that maybe we can do just one right now, or do you think that we could squeeze two?
Well, we have $4,000 from carryover.
And I'm just thinking 2,500 a piece, so that's 5,000.
I think it's realistic. For
I beg your
sure,
pardon?
because we're also going to have money, probably 25,000 for the celebration to spend. Not that we can spend all that on art, but we'll get to spend a chunk of that on art.
Okay.
Or an art event, and art is bringing the community together, doing something around art for that, whether that's in February or the summer. So that's really exciting.
So we can commingle those funds, is what you're saying?
Correct.
A portion. But I guess what we'll need to know is exactly how much of that money we can commandeer, with what money we're carrying over and what new money we'll be getting in. And of course, you know, what money goes to that then doesn't go to other things as well. So we need to be judicious, I guess, in terms of our spend.
I think a really good approach is to have this committee meet, develop a protocol, decide, hey, what does this look like? Do we want to do a contest? Who do we want to do we want the artists only to be students under 18? You know, kind of drill down on it and then propose, this is what we want to do, propose that to city, this is what we recommend. We recommend doing X number of reps, and these are the different contests we've had, and this is what it would look like. That's what I would propose.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I'd like to know where all the boxes are too, because
yeah, I have a map, and I can email that out.
Yeah.
I think we have something like 120 total, so we have a lot.
Yeah. Are there any near Lake Wold?
The wrap, yep.
You know, like a utility box. Is there one in the vicinity of Lake Wold?
Yes, there is.
Because I was thinking, who was that artist, Susan, that did all those beautiful botanical prints?
Oh, you mean Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I'm thinking, you know, when I'm getting ahead of myself, but I was thinking it's kind of nice to be able to be thematically relevant to.
That would be beautiful. That would be lovely. And of course, we have Susie Russell Hall making some really phenomenal works right now too.
Oh my gosh, my brother-in-law in New York bought one of her flower pieces. It's gorgeous, and I actually called her today just to tell her we had some openings and get some advice. And I thought it might be nice to bring someone in from our retreat who's been on another arts council. She's been on the Colonial Arts Council Commission.
Yes,
and,
yes,
you know,
yeah.
say, hey, this is where we are. Where do you see us going, and how would we move forward? You know, that was a thought I had. So
I think that's a great thought. She's a lovely person and has a wonderful voice in the arts.
So maybe the question to ask at this point in time, who would like to be part of that subcommittee with regard to the RAPs? Don't all answer at once.
at let me tell you, most all the research has been done. I mean, we really have done a lot, but it's just kind of drilling down more like how would you do the call to artists and who are we going to focus on, or maybe what are some options? Like we could do
So
this, and this.
Paige here again. I'm glad to do it. If someone promises to be on the busking at the park committee, I mean seriously, because that's my passion, right? Performing arts. But I'll do the visual, but someone's got to do the performing.
Oh,
So
I'd love to be on the busking. I'll help you with the
okay. If we trade that, because I'll do it, but I just want to make sure that we're getting the performing arts in there too.
So,
Paige and Susan.
so we've got Paige, we've got Susan. What about you, Phil?
Let me give it a thought because I'm on several other committees that are going to start to come to work here. So,
Okay. Well, I'd be happy to be
but
part of that.
thank you for asking. But
okay, I'd be happy to be part of that. I'm rather intrigued by this. I think it sounds really cool. So, yeah. So you've got 3, Sally.
Great, and we don't have Patty or Earl on the phone, but I think that's plenty.
Okay, so that's great.
And I'll send you what I have from Puyallup as well, and I'll send all the research and I'll send the map.
That would be wonderful if we could get like the what's been done up to this point packet of information so that we could take a look at that as a group. And then barring anything else that's new that needs to be shared for the good of the order, our next important meeting that's coming up is October 12th, and that will be the joint council meeting via Zoom at 7 p.m. That would be important to check in if you can. And Patty will be presenting with Sally our work plan. And then our next commission meeting is going to be November 2nd. And the information that Sally sends out with regard to the wraps, if Susan and Paige, myself and Earl, if we can all take a look at that and maybe weigh in during the course of that meeting as to what our thoughts are with regard to an RFP or call out to artists and maybe locations, what areas we should focus in on first. And maybe by then, Sally, we'd have a better understanding from you, just maybe how many realistically we might be able to do. And in terms of reps, okay?
Okay, I've got some ideas around that and how to present that. I
Okay.
have to do some options, but I'll do that. But Linda, the one thing, should we put together a retreat committee, or should just you and I drill down on a date and time?
Well, I guess what I'm not sure about is that on the one hand, we threw out November and then we threw out January as a time for the retreat. And we were talking about Lake Wold and under the heat, what are they called? Heat lamps or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We have heating in the veranda roof.
And there's so few of us, we could probably, well, we could take this offline, but maybe we'll talk to you offline here and see the options.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, we have the whole big house too.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's so few of us, I think we could easily be 6 feet apart.
Yeah,
But the only reason I mentioned January, it was much later than I hoped, was because that was the only time the pavilion's available, because it's under construction and we don't have city hall. But in a perfect world, we would have it in the fall, because you're prepping for the work plan, which has to be presented in January. And I think from what I've heard, everyone does just want to get together and socialize and see each other, because we all, genuinely like seeing each other and visiting. So early, I mean, I would even say late October, but early November would be nice. Very early November.
How does that sound? And Susan, would you be willing to accommodate us?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that.
Thank you. Adriana, how do you feel about that?
Is for a date?
Yeah, like getting together like early November at Lake Wold for a retreat of sorts to talk about our work plan.
Oh
Does that
yeah,
work?
absolutely. I think that'd be a beautiful place to have that.
Okay. Daryl, what do you think? Oh,
I could do either one. Early November if it works. If not, January.
Okay. And Paige, well, I think you're good with that, right, Paige?
Yes, ma'am. I've been there before. It's a great place for a retreat. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll bring food.
Okay, so
I'll eat the food.
That's funny.
so, Sally, do you want to check your calendar and coordinate with Susan then as far as what would work best early November
Yes.
or end of October? Maybe give people a range of dates to weigh in on.
Yeah, I'll reach out to everyone to find out the dates that work and the times in general that work.
Okay, all right.
Unless that's, yeah, is it best to do it that way or do it now? Just,
Well, I'm just thinking there's several people who aren't online. Lonnie's not online, Earl's not online. And Patty's not online. We've got a lot of people who are not necessarily available right now to be able to make that decision. So
Right.
I don't want to exclude anybody. So if maybe you could land on maybe just 2 dates.
Yeah.
And pass them out and see, where the majority lie in terms of it working out well.
Okay.
Maybe pick a date, end of October, first part of November.
Yeah, I would like to say 9, 10, 11 November is a real busy time because of all the activities with Veterans Day on my side of the fence, but do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm thinking that first week even, but I will send that out.
Mm-hmm.
Find out what works for everyone.
You make a good point, Phil, about, veterans and the like. And then of course, there's the election and voting and everything else. So that first week.
There's an election?
Yeah, I think it's an important one. So
Oh.
At any rate, so.
It's only important if you live in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. So it doesn't, you
Or
don't matter,
Florida.
Phil, you don't matter.
No, that's yeah.
At any rate, so bear that in mind, the Veterans Day, the election, all of that as to when maybe you're selecting a couple of dates that might work well for you, Susan, at Lake Wold, and you, Sally, in terms of your already busy schedule.
Right.
I'm really excited about this, you guys. I really have been looking forward to getting together. We haven't had a retreat in a long time. They're always so fun and productive, and we'll find a great time that works for everyone, okay?
Okay.
Is there any hazing involved? I just want to prepare myself.
Could I see the food menu?
Okay. All righty. So October 12th, like I said, joint council meeting. November 2nd is our next Arts Commission meeting. And somewhere in there's going to be a retreat, either the end of October or the first part of November. And the messaging is going to be from Sally and Susan as to what dates could be considered for that. And then we've got our subcommittee with regard to the wraps together. And Sally, you're going to send out the information to us so that we're going to be ready to have a more robust conversation about that moving forward. And we've got our questions for the commission, the council. So I think we're good. Productive meeting.
Great, thank you. And on that note, we just have the public art committees already in place, and I think that should be the committee that drills down on the wraps, and everyone's, Earl's on it, Patty, Susan, Paige, and so Linda, you're the only one not on that. So
okay,
you could join that. Actually, that's too many people. Okay, never mind. We'll stick with what we had in the meeting. Sorry. That was a good wrap. Sorry to.
All righty.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone. Have a really good night and stay safe.
Thank
Thank you guys. Stay safe. Good
you.
meeting.
Nice to hear everybody. You're right.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bye, everyone.
Market's still open Fridays. Come on.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye bye.
Bye.